What is up, book nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing my fall TBR, the books I want to read this fall, hoping to get to. There are some series, actually there's a bunch of series in here. There's a couple of standalones and ones that I just feel like will get me into the fall season, and a lot of it's fantasy. Some of it is, I think one or two are thriller books, and I'm so excited to share this all with you. So let's get into my stack of books. When I say stack, I mean a big stack. Alright, so the first trilogy that I am excited to get to this fall is one that's been on my shelf for a while. I've read the first two years ago and never got around to the third book, so I figured why not start from the beginning and start all over with it, whether I listen to it or physically read it. But that series is the Kingdom of the Wicked series. So we have Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, and Kingdom of the Feared. I love these covers, all three of these. I think they're all three so gorgeous. The only complaint I have is this little sticker right here is not removable, and it drives me bonkers. And I know it's not just me that it drives nuts. It's everybody that loves books and all that. But if you don't know anything about this trilogy, I'll just tell you what the first one is about. Kingdom of the Wicked is about these twin sisters who have magic, and one day one of the twin sisters ends up murdered, and the other twin sister wants to solve it, but she wants help. And when she summons a 7 deadly sins, and she summons one of them, and he has to help her solve this mystery and figure out what happened to her sister. I really enjoyed it. I suck at giving summaries, but I did like this book, and I'm excited to jump back into this world. The next series that I am really excited about, I have read the first 2 books to this series, and it's by one of my favorite authors. She is kind of like a romance / dark romance author, and I really enjoy her writing, and that series is the Devil Knight series by Penelope Douglas. I'm missing the 2 novellas that go in this, so there's one in between these 2 books and then one at the end. But I will get those just on Kindle to read. But the first book is Corrupt. The second one is Hideaway. The third one is Kill Switch. And then the fourth one is Nightfall. Basically, Devil's Night, the whole series is about these 4 guys who are best friends. And in the first book, 3 of the best friends are in jail. They end up getting out of jail, and they want revenge on the girl who put them in jail. So those 3 and the other best friend that did not go to jail at all end up causing mayhem. And it kind of has flashbacks to present and past, and you see their lives from the past and what they've been through and what they did. I enjoyed this series when I first read it. I'm hoping that I'm going to absolutely love it still, but we'll see. My reading has changed a lot, but I think Penelope Douglas, in my mind, can do no wrong. So I absolutely love her books. The next 2 are part of I believe a trilogy, but I don't know. And the third one is not out. The second one just came out. And those 2 books are Assistant to the Villain and Apprentice to the Villain. Now, I read Assistant to the Villain last year. I did try physically reading it, so I understand there's some people that don't like it. I could not get through it physically reading it. Now, when I went to the audiobook, now that was a new experience for me, and it made this book 10 times better. So I understand when people say they didn't like it, and I understand the ones who say that they did. I believe I gave this book 4 stars, and I have been dying to get my hands on this new one, Apprentice to the Villain, because the first one left off on such a cliffhanger that it drove me nuts. 4 months. But yeah, I can't remember what it's about, and I really don't want to read the back of it because I want to go in blind. It's been a while, but it's still been in the back of my mind of wanting to reread it. This next series, I am on a group on Instagram, and a couple of us ladies are going to be reading this series together. I believe we're going to be reading them over a 2-week span, and that series is the Boys of Tommen series. Now, our first book obviously is going to be Binding 13, and the second one's Keeping 13. I don't have the rest of the books. I'm going to get them on Kindle Unlimited to read them, see if I absolutely love them, and if I do, then I will eventually add them to my collection of this series. But all I want to know going in for this series is he wants to save her, she wants to hide, she's damaged, he's determined, fate brought them together, love binds them. That's all I want to know. I've heard this book series breaks your heart. I've seen a bunch of booktubers who have read it and they just cry because it's such a good book and it's heartfelt and it's heartbreaking and you just love the characters in it. So I am very excited to read this, and I know Larry Reads here on YouTube loves this series, and a lot of times her reading taste and my reading taste matches up, so I know I'm gonna love this. This next series, I believe it's going to be a 5-book series, but only the first 2 full novels and 1 novella is out right now, and that series is the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts. So I have Powerless and Powerful, and if I love these, then I will go and buy Reckless from Walmart and read that one. This one I've heard it's a romance, but there's not romance in it. But it's like the build-up romance, which I'm excited about. So it says, Hayden, thief, ordinary survivor. I've never been looked at like it's a privilege to be in my presence, an honor to hold my gaze, a gift to get a glimpse of me. Not until I met him. Kai, prince, elite, enforcer. If I am to be her enemy, I want it to be because she loathes herself for wanting me. She is the very thing he has spent his whole life hunting. He is the very thing she has spent her whole life pretending to be. And fate ensured they would find each other. That sounds amazing. I think this book is gorgeous, and I have heard nothing but great things about this. So I'm excited to dive right into this. And the next series is, I know it's an oldie. I know. Trust me. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while. I've read the first one last year. Loved it. Won't reread it, but because I want to read these other ones, and I'll probably do these audiobook. But that series is the Carrie Maniscalco, I don't know what the series is called, but there's Stalking Jack the Ripper, which that's the one I've read, and then there's Hunting Prince Dracula, Escaping from Houdini, and Capturing the Devil. I love the first one. I thought it ended really good, and I love how it ended going into this book, and I'm excited to get to these. These are very, you don't have to really put your mind to it type of fantasy. These are YA, and I've been wanting to read them, so why not give myself the incentive to do it for my fall reading? And they basically are around fall time, because all of these, I mean, Dracula, Houdini, and the Devil is more of a Halloween thing anyways, so why not just put these in with that? And then the next trilogy I'm going to be reading is one that I've been highly anticipating. I read the first one years ago, and it's I don't remember what it's about. I think when I read it, it was one of those that I was excited to read it, but I wasn't ready in my mind to read it. So I absolutely held none of it in my brain. So it's going to be a reread. And that is the Atlas 6 trilogy. So we have the Atlas 6, the Atlas Paradox, and I believe the next one, the last one, is the Atlas Complex, which is a gorgeous book. But this one, it's seek it if you wish, but as with all knowledge, whatever follows will be yours to bear alone. So like, I'm thinking, if I remember, is that each decade there's 6 people who are brought to this house and they have to work hard together or something like that. I don't know. But I just remember reading this and it just had my mind in puzzles. And I'm excited to reread this. And like these end papers in this book are just amazing. And I'm excited to reread this to see if I remember anything from it and whatnot. So yes, this will be hopefully maybe doing a reading vlog on this one also. The next book I'm going to be talking about is a standalone, and it is by a thriller author that is a hit or miss for me, and that is Riley Sager's The Only One Left. I really want to get his new one, but I need to catch up on the books that I have by him and read those. This one is, it says, at 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope, stabbed her father with a knife, took her mother's happy life. It wasn't me, Lenora said, but she's the only one not dead. This is kind of like I'm guessing a Lizzie Borden kind of retelling kind of book, which I am excited about because I have my own opinion about the whole Lizzie Borden thing, and I can't wait to get into this, and I will let you guys know my opinion on it. I've just been holding it off. It's like I have to be the right mind, has to be the right time of year, and the fall is the best time to read thrillers, and I am so totally stoked for this and to see what I think of it. So my mom and I have started filming some YouTube videos together, and we want to do like our own little book club and discuss books with you guys. And the book that we chose and I recently bought is The Coven by Harper L. Woods. This is a witchy book, and it is perfect for this time of year. I'm excited. Look at these sprayed edges. This is what caught us when we looked at it. The second book comes out September 3rd. So I will be going and purchasing that one, even though I haven't read this one yet. And then look at these end papers. I'm excited to read this. My mom read what it was about and she said, I want to read that. I want us to read it together. And I said, all right, girl, we'll read it together. And it's short, and I think it's going to be a fast read for us. So if you guys want to join that book group, I will leave a link down in the description. I'm working on a Patreon, and we will be discussing the book hopefully on there and also on the YouTube channel. And we all can share our thoughts and feelings about it. This next book, it is talked about all the time on Book Talk, on YouTube, and I read the first book. I'm going to have to start this back over. It is a bind-up book, books 1 through 5. That's all that's in this series, and they're short books, but it is the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. Now, this is about a girl who is a serial killer, and she starts dating this cop who is investigating all these killings that are going on. But little does he know that she is the one killing all these guys. Ones that he has to solve the crime for is the one that he's in love with. And you're following her through this book and getting away with it. And I'm excited to read this and see how it concludes. I've heard it's great. This book is heavy. It is huge. But like I said, it has 5 books in it. And I absolutely loved the first one. I remember reading it and it leaving on a cliffhanger, and I just never picked it back up. I don't know why. We all get like that. But it has been in my mind to read this since the beginning of the year. And I think now I'm fully ready to jump into this massive brick of a book and finish it and see what people think about it and give you guys my opinion. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a reading vlog reading this book. And the last books on this stack are the first 3 in this series. It is a TV show. My mom has told me to watch the TV show. I have not watched it because I don't have a channel that it's on. Okay? And it has witches, it has vampires, it has forbidden love. That's right up my alley. Let me just tell you that. Love those tropes. That series is the All Souls trilogy. And there's also other books added on to this. I don't know if they are for side characters or these characters. I'm gonna have to find out. But we have A Discovery of Witches, Shadow of Night, and The Book of Life, all by Deborah Harkness. I have been wanting to read this. I've had this trilogy for probably 2.5 to 3 years. Have not read them yet. They always end up on my TBR of books I want to read, but I never get to it. We all know how that is. I get sidetracked very easily, and I have kids, and I can only read a certain amount of books all the time. But this one, it just says a little blurb: an irresistible tale of wizardy, science, and forbidden love. That's all I want to know. That's it. I'm just hoping it's everything that my mom has me pumped up for, because she said she's heard, if you like the show, read the book, because obviously the book's always better. I think there's only ever been one time that I was like, the movie's better. One time in my whole 32 years of living on this earth. But yeah, those are the books that I plan on reading for this fall. Am I going to get to all of them? Probably not. I'm not going to hold my breath. But will a lot of them be on my TBR? You'll have to wait and see in my next video, because that is probably going to be the next one that it will be put on this channel. And if you guys have read any of these books, let me know. Let me know what you guys thought about it. But please keep spoilers out of the comments, especially for us who have not read these books. No one likes to be spoiled for anything. And if you'd like to know more about what's going on, go follow my mom and I's TikTok. We're posting on there all the time. Go on my Instagram page, which will be linked down below. I will let you guys know on there when my Patreon is up and ready to run. And yeah, that is it. And until next time, keep on reading, people. Bye!